Hi, my name is Amy Daschel, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my story. My story's not your typical one. I had a stint of 12-foot surgeries. I was 38 years old. I was living what you would call the normal life. I had a career, I had a family. I was married in my church. I had a year-long stint of surgeries, which resulted in me being prescribed 5 oxy 30 milligrams a day. This went on, as I said, for about a year, and the dependency that I built on these opiates was significant. And trying to keep that dependency up and the doctors cut me off suddenly was detrimental to me being able to function normally. This quickly turned into heroin use. As a lot of you know, heroin is a lot cheaper, and the second I started on heroin, my life fell apart. I lost everything. I went from having the normal life, having the family, having the career, being successful, to being homeless. It took everything from me, and it was very quickly. I fell down and was in homelessness for about 2 years, lived on the street, down at what you would call the block in the Operation Rio Grande area, downtown Salt Lake. I was in and out of jail 7 different times, and I never could get help or resources because I didn't have the chronological criminal history that most people would have to be eligible for programs. I would be in and out 7 different times. They would release me right back on the street. Even when I was in jail, I wouldn't qualify for what they call the CATS program because I didn't have that history. And you get to a point where you just lose all hope, and there's nobody to pull from, and there's nobody to help you, and it gets very easy to get into a darkness and a despair that you can't even imagine. It was only because of the Operation Rio Grande project that I was able to get help that literally saved my life. I jumped on the first chance of treatment and I entered the House of Hope. I did 4 months residential and 3 months outpatient and was able to work on that core issue. Upon exiting outpatient treatment with House of Hope, I had the opportunity to stay with Next Level Recovery in sober living, and I credit this to where I'm at today. I had a housing voucher and decided to hold off on the voucher because I really felt that sober living was going to be detrimental to reintegrate me back into society, and it was 100% accurate. Being able to stay at Next Level Recovery sober living was huge because that environment was able to help me transition effectively. They treated me as an adult, which was such a different environment from your bubble wrapped feeling that you have in treatment. You're so guarded and you're so watched over in treatment. And to have to go straight from that out into society, that's where the big gap is. That's why a lot of people do not make it and stay sober, because they don't know how to have those skills of starting to work, having that accountability still, but still being treated like an adult to be able to reintegrate back into society. And that was huge for me. So having to stay in the sober living properties and have the people around you fighting that same fight was very pivotal in my transition.